Hi, this is Parent Coach K with your parenting solution in a minute, usually, but I'm gonna, let me see if I can't do this in a minute. Let me go for a little bit longer. I'm gonna set it for 2. I love the timer. Big fan of the timer. Okay, here we go. So I want to talk about, I listen to a lot of experts. That's my job. So listen to those people um, with a lot of capital letters after their name, and I have tremendous respect for them. And I got sought parenting help many years ago, and I read Positive Discipline, which for me was positively no discipline, as I often say. But I can learn something from everyone, and every single person I went to, every book I've read, I can learn something from that person, that book. Usually, it's about just taking stock of where I am. Am I putting something onto my kids that I don't need to be? Is my anxiety being projected onto them or anybody else? All right. Here's what I want to ask you. If you are someone who was like me, that you were never, ever going to say to your kids, because I said so, or that's the way it's going to be. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about your teenager because that's different. Let's talk about school age kids. So, uh, but to be that authoritative parent, and that thought authoritative parent to me felt authoritarian, and who am I? Who do I think I am to be able to do that to this little human who is just this, this fragile, innocent little being? Who am I to tell you what to do? I don't, I'm a control freak. And I don't want to do what my parents did, where they didn't really hear me. And I wanted to be that mom that's hearing your every feeling and your thought before you feel them. Before, you know what I'm saying? What I have learned, first of all, it wasn't working for me. In fact, it was burdensome to my kids. Hey, how are you feeling? I'm going to say this, and I hope you say this. Anything but telling your kids what to do, because that is, you know, a control freak. Well, I loved my kids more than anything, just like you do. And I'm going to okay, here we go. I got one more minute. I love that. Timer goes at 2. I got one more. Okay, I can do that. My husband of blessed memory used to say, can you sharpen that? Like, okay. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, is this working for you? If you are screaming at your children, and I mean you're burdening them with things like, we need to talk about this, and we need to, because it may feel really good to you, or like you're kind, you're helpful, but maybe it's not so gentle. Or let's put it this way, maybe it's not kind, because it is gentle. And I think some of the gentle is a part of the problem. It was my problem. Maybe it's very kind to be authoritative. Maybe it's kind not to burden kids with, how are you feeling right now? What's going on? And let me help you regulate yourself. And maybe it's not kind. Coach at icoachmoms.com. If this resonates with you, shoot me an email or just put something in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if the gentle parenting is working for you, tell me about it. I want to hear about that. What's working the most? Are your kids following directions the first time? You're not screaming at all? Are you spending forever getting them to get dressed in the morning? I mean, is that, you know, are you Dr. Philling yourself into a frenzy? I want to hear. I like you, Dr. Phil. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is so my time. Coach at icoachmoms.com.